Dominican Republic into 5 geographic regions: Santo Domingo and the National District, the southeast and the border, the north coast, the valleys of Cibao and La Vega Real, and the east. We begin our tour in the nation's capital, Santo Domingo de Guzman. Santo Domingo is located on the southern coast facing the Caribbean Sea. With close to 3 million residents, it's the country's political, economic, and social hub, and a dynamic metropolis. Known as the first city of the New World, Santo Domingo was founded in 1498 on the shores of the Osama River by Bartholomew Columbus, brother of Admiral Cristobal. As the main center of the Spaniards in the Americas, Santo Domingo was the site of the Western Hemisphere's first colonial institutions: the first cathedral, the first university, the first court of justice, the first monastery, and the first hospital. The city's colonial zone, declared Patrimony of Humanity by UNESCO, is an impressive concentration of structures from the 16th century surrounded by thick, historic walls. The oldest colonial military construction of the Americas is the Osama Fortress, with a magnificent entrance. It has a medieval tower that was built in 1503 and was used for a time as a jail. The fort is on La Calle Las Damas, or Street of the Ladies. This street is also the location of Bastida's house, Frank's house, Obando house, Remedios Church, the Jesuits' house, and the National Mausoleum, which guards the remains of important figures of Dominican history. At the end of the street, we arrive at the Museum of Royal Houses, site of the first colonial court of justice in the Americas, erected in 1511. In front of this magnificent building is the Clock of the Sun. Built in 1753, the clock marked the entrance to the Plaza of Spain. The plaza is home to one of Santo Domingo's greatest architectural treasures, the Colón Citadel, or Palace of the Viceroyalty, where several generations of descendants of Christopher Columbus lived. To the north is the Atarazanas Reales, a small street occupied by 8 constructions that date back to 1507. Continuing our tour of this historic area, we arrive at Colón Park. Adjacent to it is the first cathedral of the Americas, the sacred Metropolitan Basilica of Our Lady St. Mary of the Incarnation. Building of the cathedral began in 1514, and it was established as the first cathedral of the Indies by Pope Paul III in 1546. The influence of the Catholic Church during the conquest and the colonial period makes many of the old city's most important monuments churches and convents. The Street of the Count was last century's principal commercial artery and is now a bustling pedestrian walkway. The Gate of the Count is an important point of access to the city from the west. The entrance now marks Independence Park and the mausoleum which guards the remains of the fathers of the country, Duarte, Sanchez, and Nea. Across from the mausoleum and delimiting the colonial zone is a walled bastion that defended the city, the Fortress of the Conception. Another landmark is the Gate of Mercy, or Big Gate, where Matias Ramon Mea fired the first shot of insurrection against Haitian domination on February 27, 1844. Other important structures include the Cordon House, Tostado House, the home of Diego Caballero, and the Duarte Museum, birthplace of the nation's liberator. In addition to the historic patrimony of its colonial zone, Santo Domingo, as capital of the country, is a thriving city that is continually growing and developing. The increase in construction, appearance of new neighborhoods, and inauguration of bridges and avenues are signs of the level of development achieved in recent years. George Washington Avenue runs along the boardwalk. Here you can visit San Jose Fortress, where there are remnants of the old city's walls, the statue of Friar Montesino, the monument that inaugurated the dictator Trujillo and now commemorates the Mirabal sisters, and the Center of Heroes, site of the nation's parliament. Gasque is a traditional neighborhood with wide houses. It is home to the National Palace, where the president is based, the Palace of Justice, and the Palace of Fine Arts. The Plaza of Culture is also in Gasque. This is the location of the Museum of Modern Art, the Museum of History and Geography, the Museum of the Dominican Man, the Museum of Natural History, the National Theater, and the National Library. There are many attractions on the outskirts of Santo Domingo. The Rafael Moscoso Botanical Garden and the National Zoo attract visitors of all ages. Residents of the capital flock to the recently inaugurated Mirador Park of the North and its counterpart within the city, Mirador Park of the South, for relaxation and recreation. A number of interesting sites are in the eastern part of Santo Domingo, which is called Osama. One is the Columbus Lighthouse, inaugurated in 1992 in the Mirador Park of the East. It commemorates the 500-year anniversary of the so-called Encounter of Two Cultures. It has a museum and mausoleum with Columbus's remains. The lighthouse projects two rays of light in the form of a cross. Nearby are the beloved Tres Ojos, or Three Eyes, a trio of subterranean lakes that you access via steep stairs. The National Aquarium is located in this area. Heading east is the International Airport of the Americas, near Boca Chica. This municipality offers the capital's most beautiful beaches. Among Boca Chica's other characteristics are the practice of water sports and the presence of folk musicians. The next region we will visit is the southeast and the border, San Cristobal. Leaving the capital, immediately after crossing the Jaina River, we enter the province of San Cristobal, a land rich in history. The National Park El Pomier, where the Bourbon Caves are located, possesses the most important prehistoric legacy of the Antilles, with thousands of drawings by the island's first inhabitants. The provincial capital is also called San Cristobal. Founded in 1822, it was the site of the first Constitutional Congress, where the first Dominican Constitution was developed and signed in 1844. San Cristobal Cathedral and the House of Culture are located in Columbus Plaza. San Cristobal was the birthplace of the dictator Trujillo. This Palace of the Hill was one of his vacation homes. Its balconies offer a view of the whole area. North of the province, next to Duarte Highway that goes to Ciudad Valley, is the charming town of Villa Altagracia. The lovely Najayo beaches of the Caribbean Sea are very popular with the locals. Peravia. Following the Caribbean coast, we arrive at the province of Peravia. Its capital is Bani, founded in 1761 by immigrants from the Canary Islands. They came under the patronage of the Virgen de Regla, to whom they dedicated their principal church. Bani is the birthplace of Máximo Gómez, who played an important role in Cuba's War of Independence. The impressive salt mines of Puerto Hermoso are on the coast in Peravia's southwest corner. They are the backdrop to a recreational area and the entry point to Calderas Bay, site of the country's largest naval base. San Jose de Ocoa. This recently created province was formerly part of Peravia. Its capital is San Jose de Ocoa. Azua. Azua is an agricultural province. It is mountainous in its northern borders with La Vega, and to the south, its coasts kiss the Caribbean Sea in the beautiful Ocoa Bay. Azua de Compostela, the provincial capital, is a tranquil city. It was originally founded a little to the south by Nicolás de Obando in 1504, in what is now called Pueblo Viejo, or Old Village, where there are still vestiges of the capital's first constructions.